Hey,
Hey,
folks,
folks.
are you sure what you're going to do with a con? Well, guess what? We're going to give you 10 of our tips to help you prepare for cons and have a great time. Are you ready, Jabba?
I'm ready.
Then let's do it. Hey, folks, what's up? Thank you to another episode of Anime and Gaming, our top 10 list. As always, I am Antonio Pomares, aka the Hungry Bleak, your geek culture analyst, reviewer, eater of fine pancakes. Does that sound? And as always, with me, I have artist, con aficionado, streamer, gamer, one of the best hunters out there with the sweet business and owner of the braids. The braids! JabbaChan, y'all. All right, so Jabba, obviously, con season is here. Well, it's been here, but
Yeah.
we're kind of winding down now, and we're going to be having New York Comic Con. That's our big East Coast Comic Con.
Yeah. Biggest one.
Exactly. So we're going to give you all some of our tips as an attendee and a vendor of some of the things that you can do to really prep yourself and to be prepared for cons because they can be wild. First thing up for me is take breaks. It's okay. You don't have to stay in that building the whole time. You're able to leave and come back in. I would recommend every so often, especially if it's your first time at a con and it's a big con, go to the side, take a breath, maybe go outside, get some fresh air. If you want to, brown bag it with lunch, go ahead. Food trucks, what have you, they're going to be a bit pricey. I'm just going to let you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, or get lunch, what have you, take a walk, get some air. Definitely, believe me, it will do you good mentally and physically because you need to sit down. It can get really crazy, and as much as we love geek culture and everything, some of it can be a little overwhelming between the cosplays, the booths, walking around all day. You're tired. You probably took public transit in, panels, a lot going on.
It's a lot.
It's almost too much, and yet we need it to be outlandish.
Right.
It's weird. All right. Jabba, what you got?
So from a vendor side, you definitely need to realize that as a vendor, it's another job. So you're going to be there for about 8 to 10 hours, depending on what kind of convention it is. So make sure you bring snacks and water. Definitely, if you want to hydrate, if you want to have your morning coffee or whatever, that's what I do. I kind of pack 2 cans of Monsters because I need caffeine. I need to be up. But definitely water just to keep myself hydrated. I don't want to drink too much sugar throughout the day. And some little snacks and chips and stuff like that. Because like you said, cons are gonna be a little bit expensive. And as a vendor, you can't leave your table. At least not like that.
What would you say would be the best snacks for someone to take if they're going to be there for, say, like an 8-10 hour day?
Honestly, I pack I have a little lunchbox that I pack a cooler with, so I'll bring fruit just to stay healthy. Maybe some chips or trail mix, give or take, and maybe a little protein bar.
That's actually a very good one.
Yeah, because you don't have to eat all in one shot. You let everything stretch. So
yeah, that's actually a really good one. For me, bathrooms and exits. Definitely know where the bathrooms are just in case something happens. Obviously, because like we're saying, hydrating, very important. Drinking water or whatever you're drinking and you're eating, you want to make sure you know where the bathrooms are. Usually, I'll speak for the male and male presenting people. From when I go to cons, usually the bathrooms are pretty good. The lines flow very, very quickly if there is a line. I think the longest I've ever waited in line at a con is maybe 2 minutes, and the line was about 10 people.
that's
And they were and they were at the stalls and at the urinals. So that was a pretty quick turnaround. I think people are kind of conscious and also very knowing of, hey, you know what, everybody's got to go. I can't be in there farting around. Now you might have some people who are in there with their costumes, fixing it up, doing what have you, or there's a lot of costume to get out of.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom and then get back into. You give those people grace because they're still walking around doing the thing and in the cosplay and everything, and it's hard to get out of out of a
Yeah.
whole, let's say, triangle head.
Yeah.
Because you got to fit that whole head in the stall first off.
Or imagine like the that Iron Man Juggernaut one.
Yes.
That was at your Comic Con a few years back.
Yes.
That was a lot of work. I remember the setup.
Yeah, I remember there used to be somebody who would do Optimus Prime, and it was this huge Optimus Prime, and I never thought about it until like I was like, yo, you're taller than the actual entranceway for the bathroom. That's crazy. So yeah, check out where the bathrooms are. Make sure that they're within vicinity and that you're good, so you know where they are. Also know where the exits are, just in case something happens. If there happens to be a fire alarm, or some type of incident that goes down, you want to know where the exits are, not just the main exits, but also the emergency exits as well. I'm not saying you got to clock them everything, but just pay attention when you're walking around. Oh, okay, this one's here, in case something happens. Unfortunately, in the world that we live in, we just have to be careful of these things and make sure that we know, what's going on.
I will say, to piggyback off of that, at least for the vendors, we get our floor plans like at least like a week in advance, so we know, for one, where our table is at, and two, how the whole area is mapped out, so we know where the exits are ahead of time.
Yeah, which is good. You actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, you can actually look at the maps for them like ahead of time. Like even if you're an attendee, you can. But sometimes it still can be disorienting if you're, especially if it's like multi floors and everything.
Yeah.
Or if you're in a panel room or viewing, what have you. So yeah, if you possibly can, that's a great point of Jabba had. If you can, check out the floor plan, because cons will usually have that beforehand. They'll let you know because they want you to know where everybody's tables are. And they'll usually show you, hey, this exit here, exit here. That makes life a little bit easier for you. You know what else makes it easier? Money.
Money, 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 money. Yeah, no. Definitely from a vendor standpoint, the biggest thing to have is singles. No, not for the strip club, but it's just good to have, because I know. Because usually it's like, if you think about it, if you ever worked in like some type of like retail, you always want to have enough singles so that way you get change, like, your customers. If they give you large bills, that means you have to break down in singles. Trust me, I've had plenty of times where like my booth neighbor's like, hey, can you give me change for a $5? Or can I get like, change for a $5 because I ran out of singles? So at least like $20 in singles should be good for the most part.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I've seen a lot of, because not everybody has a card, not everybody does, Venmo or PayPal, and it's wonderful that we have all those options. Also, sometimes the Wi-Fi is kind of spotty depending on where you're at, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a great point to have cash. And also, if you're an attendee, have cash just in case. Especially vendors will love if you have singles and fives. Oh my god, I've seen people lose their mind, like, oh my god, thank you. I'm like, yeah, sure, no worry about it. Or if you're feeling a little generous, give them whatever and say, no, that's a tip. Not saying you have to, but be a little generous, because it's hot in there. It's a lot going on. They got to worry about the tables. They brought all that stuff in. Maybe a little something, which is cool. But that's actually a really great point. Sometimes there are ATMs in convention centers,
but they're super high. Like I've seen them where it's like maybe like $5 to $6, no matter what your bank is, and that's unfortunately ridiculous. But it's like, if you want the change, you're gonna have to pay the fee for it.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can try that, but if you can't, have your card, but also if you're able to bring some cash in, especially like I said, singles and fives, because it's easier for them and it helps them out too, in case somebody comes up with a bill and they're not really paying attention to it. Definitely think. This one is key. Your charger and an auxiliary battery. So important. A lot of times at actual conventions, you will see plugs that they will allow you to use. You can sit, have a moment, you can plug in, charge your phones up, because you want to make sure, in case something happens, you want your phone to be able to be used. Obviously, you know what I mean? So definitely, charge your phone before you get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, you're taking videos, taking pictures, you're posting, obviously, you're doing everything, reactions, what have you. So your phone goes through a lot. So while you're there, plug in. If you're not able to plug in, bring that auxiliary battery. It's so key to bring it. Make sure that is also charged up. Charge it the night before.
Too.
Exactly. Charge up. Even if it's new, just double check and make sure, because there will be a bit of a charge on there. But
it's not enough.
Exactly. Make sure that it's. I actually had a couple of them that I had bought a few years ago, and they were great the first year, and after that they would just die out. They'd die out in 5 minutes when I charged something. So I ended up buying the Samsung battery. key, perfect, wonderful, because I'm able to charge my phone and also my iPod. So I keep it and I go night before. I make sure it's charged, and it holds a
Yep.
charge for a very long time to begin with. Do that, and I'm good. And you have your charger. Bring the cord as well. I can't
Yeah.
because a lot of them are separate now. Bring your cord as well. Bring both. What I like to do is I actually write a little checklist of things
Oh yeah.
just in case, and I check them off so you don't forget something. But yeah, definitely bring your chargers and
Yeah, your cables.
and your cable. Cable is sometimes you might find a place that has cables for like $1. All right, fine. But still, if you're able to do
They're
it,
sometimes not even compatible, which really sucks and you're wasting money. So like make sure you bring
exactly.
the cable that goes with the battery pack and the cable that you just charge from at home, like on your day-to-day basis. Because I bring both. I have like 2 battery chargers that I bring
Okay.
just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So just in case if I happen to forget that one is actually going to die, I'll have the other one as backup.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense because sometimes at tables there aren't outlets there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like some will have an outlet there, some
But
won't.
you gotta pay for the electricity. And sometimes that could also vary in prices too, which will be on top of what your table booth is.
Got a whole, yeah.
But I've
So
gotten lucky for I think the last show, I was like right next to a plug, so I'm like, okay, I'm good to go.
am. So yeah, definitely. What I like to do is I actually have cords that I have at home, and I have cords that I keep in my bag.
Yeah.
Which is something that I started doing as well. Also, check your cords, make sure they're not frayed or anything.
Yeah.
Because sometimes bending happens in your bag. You got
Mm-hmm.
stuff, you got these comics. So just double check them and make sure that that everything is good there. You know what else is good there? Neighbors.
Love my neighbors. Thank you for being a friend. But and now I'm back again. No, but as a vendor, it's good to actually make friends with your booth neighbors for a few reasons. Because one, if you're by yourself, like me, because I'm a one-woman show, if you can at least know they're in the same boat with you. They're trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. They're trying to sell it, make money. Where it's like, hey, can you wash my stuff after I went to the bathroom? They're like, sure, no problem. Same thing, vice versa. Be like, hey, can you wash my stuff? Sure, no problem. Like you'll still be like, not like working for each other, but like, if somebody started looking at their stuff, like, oh, hey, the artist's not here, but they'll be right back. Just let me know if you have any questions or whatever, this, that, and the third. Yeah. But another reason why it's good to have booth friends, because one, you can ask what's the next upcoming show you have. So pretty much like as soon as you start getting more chummy with other people, it's kind of almost like a reunion. Like every time it's like, oh hey, I haven't seen you like wow, like what was like your latest show, this, that, and the third. And then sometimes you hear about conventions that you didn't know about. Like prime example, the last show I was at, one of my vendors that I met a year prior, or no, about like 3 years prior, we became good buddies. Like they bought stuff from me, I bought stuff from them. They're at Anime NYC.
Oh,
And
okay.
shout out to our lovely supporter Joy. She was there, and I'm like, oh, my buddies are there. I'm like, go see their table and tell them that JabbaChan sent you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, and she's like, okay. So then they got together. Like, I got my shout out, even though I wasn't asking for a shout out, but it's like, if you know friends outside of the convention and like they'll like the stuff without you having to be like the little like the mules trying to get their stuff in, you'd be like, hey, they're here, go check out their stuff and like see what you want to get. And it was perfect. It was like a full circle moment.
Yeah, that's the point, because it really is about community and supporting each other. That's a great way to do it. It helps time go by quickly. It's a nice positive environment, because I do enjoy when I go to a table and the person says like in a panel or they're doing something, what have you, and the person's like, oh, they're not here, but they're going to be back in like 10 minutes or 15 more, whatever they went to do, whatever, because not everybody will have a sign. Some people will have a sign that says, hey, I'll be back at 1 o'clock or what have you.
Right.
Sometimes some people don't, but it's great to have that person who's like, oh, but they're gonna be back at what have you, whatever. It's nice to see, and it's just nice to see that camaraderie there too. Just a nice feeling and of that environment of like, oh, okay, cool. Because then while you're, oh yeah, you might start talking to that person, checking
Mm-hmm.
out their stuff, buying their stuff by the time you're done, because con tables, I mean, yes, it's busy, it's crazy, what have you, but sometimes you can have these deep, really great conversations that go beyond their book or what have you. Just having a great talk. You might be like, oh, this movie I saw was, oh yeah, I saw that movie, great, what have you, or oh, this place you got to go eat. Maybe by the time you guys are done talking, the person's come back. You're like, oh, okay, thank you, I love this, thank you very much, great talk, what have you. Get this, what have you, and you're there. It's just a great, and like you're saying that you do know about cons that you didn't know about, other
Mm-hmm.
events. Maybe there's like opportunities,
Yep.
that somebody's like, oh, there's this, what have you. I like your stuff. You start bonding. And
Mm-hmm.
again, it is that cycle. It is that reciprocating cycle of energy. And it is nice to have that reunion at a con. Oh, you're here. Oh, here we go. You here.
That's
What's good? And
pretty
having
much
that
what
fun.
it is. Because remember, you're gonna be there for like I said before, you're gonna be there for almost like 8 to 10 hours.
A
Like,
day.
sit a day just sitting there. Trust me, there have been times where I would be like a local, quote unquote, local DJ, and I'll start playing like 90s house music, and then you just see everybody sitting there bopping and be like, or some Disney, they'd be like, but you got that song? I'm like, I got that song. I got you. No worries.
You got to have fun at these things. You got to have fun.
Yeah.
So next one up for me is take meds beforehand. If you have a prescription for whatever it is, whether it's for physical, mental, or emotional ailment, please take your meds beforehand if you're able to. I don't know. Some meds I know have certain times you have to take them, what have you. But if you're able to, please take your meds before, because it gets crazy in there, hustle and bustle. And if you possibly are taking a medication for some type of anxiety disorder or something like that, and you haven't taken it and you're in there, not just of actually you possibly haven't eaten, but you also haven't taken your meds and all that hustle and bustle,
Mm-hmm.
it can really get to you, believe me. So be aware of that. So yeah, please take your meds if you can before. It'll just heighten the experience, because at a con, the whole point of the con is inclusion, having fun, having a great
Mm-hmm.
time, and enjoying it. Yes, you want to buy people stuff, what have you, but the bottom line is I want you to have fun at the cons. And if you're not feeling like the best you that you can be, you're not going to enjoy yourself. And I don't want you to have a situation where you end up spiraling
Yeah.
because of everything. That's horrible. I want you to have a great time. I want you to be overjoyed. I want you to geek out at everything that you see and have this awesome time. So if you can, please also eat and take your meds. Don't
Yeah.
just take your meds. And
This is
please
why we
eat.
bring snacks.
Exactly.
This is why we bring snacks.
Water, take your meds, have a decent breakfast. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And take your meds. If you have to take your meds again during the show, which I understand some meds you have to take, more than once a day, depending on what it is, what have you. Again, I'm not trying to please you. I just want you to be the best you that you can be.
Yeah.
That's my whole goal here. So yes, please take your meds beforehand if you can. Also, if you're trying to take your meds out, there's possible chances you could drop them, you could lose them, and then what could happen?
That's
You
a
know what I
lot.
mean? Exactly. So there's a lot. So take your meds before you get there, so you're rip runner ready to go, because you want to enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. You paid X amount of money to go there,
Mm-hmm.
and you could be, cosplayed out, you could be doing whatever, you could be what have you. I just want you to have fun and be the best you that you can be. That's it. So next up,
Bags.
Silky.
Bags. Not bags of money, but just bags. And these bags can be for a few things. It can be bags for your items that you're selling to a customer, but most likely I want to say you would need like your trash bags, because as a vendor, once again, I'm going to reiterate this, we are here for 8 to 10 hours. And if we have food, we don't want to leave it a mess. And especially if we're in a big venue and depending on where you're positioned at, you might not be close to a garbage can.
Mhm.
Or you might not have the luxury to just get up and just like throw it away right in the corner. So I would say bring a trash bag, a little small one. It could be like something that you got from your house or whatever, just to pack it in and make it look neat. Because one, it also reflects on you when the show runners walk around. They can see, okay, this person is still neat. Not everything's looking like a mess, because one, it will cause problems for your neighbors as well as like the customers themselves. So bring trash bags. Also, it's nice to at least have bags for customers when you give out your stuff.
Very key, very important. I've had people offer me bags for, if I buy comics or T-shirts, what have you. A lot of times I'll say no because I'll have a bag with me because I like to use
Mm-hmm.
the reusable bags. But it is very key that you're saying that it's not just for you, but it's for your neighbors again, because it is like that's a little neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever time you want to say, that's your hood right there. That's you're repping your hood, your corner, your block, your set.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's your that's that's La Clica right there. That's it. So yeah, to have it like that, and it is nice because maybe the showrunners walk around and they're going table, A7. I
Because they
noticed
do
that their
work.
table's a mess. Yeah, and if it comes time where the next year, you apply and they're like, I don't know about this person. They were just really a mess. Their table was dirty. There's chicken bones. I mean, I'm just chicken bones is a little excessive. I'm saying, but if you got what I mean. But if it's dirty like that, and also at a certain point, garbage can start to smell.
Yep.
If it's summertime and maybe something's wrong with the AC, you might start having issues with that. And it is just a nice reflection again of you as a person, and that's your area and it's clean. Your neighbors are gonna see it, what have you. Maybe you're like your neighbor's like, oh, damn, oh, forgot my bags, what have you, because they didn't make the list and they didn't watch this episode. Shame on you.
Exactly.
Shame on you. So you could, oh, you know what? I got, an extra bag. Here you go. What have you. Again, that's being a good neighbor because maybe they, maybe your highlighters ran out and they had a couple extra and then you can go like, it's a nice, again, they start reciprocating energy thing. So you're definitely on point with that. Bags is a great thing. When I see all the bags like behind like creators and booths, I go, yeah, good job. Because it's a bag for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bag for them. And it's a bag just in case, because you never know.
Now, before we go to our last one, can we do a quick honorable mention? This from a vet.
Yes.
So my honorable mention is a seat cushion.
Oh.
It is a seat cushion because as us vendors, we don't get like the best seats. We don't get like these nice little stream
you don't get office chairs.
Like office chair. No, we get foldable chairs you'll find at a cookout. Okay, we get one of those. So what I did was I invested in a seat cushion from Amazon, and it was like the best $20 I ever spent.
Ooh, okay. So we're doing honorable mention for seat cushion. Yes.
So seat cushions and floor mats too. Because if you're standing,
yeah,
that's a lot.
Because you're going back and forth really a lot of times. Not everybody's just sitting; they're going back and forth.
So yeah, I just want to get like those two honorable mentions before we go to our last. Because like I said, people don't know. Like I said, my butt be hurting.
Exactly. Because those chairs are not for the rump. They are not for long-term rump.
Sometimes you get lucky if you're like in like a hotel aspect for like because they provide like more comfortable ones.
Yeah.
But if you're in a venue, please, these chairs you find at somebody's cookout. Okay.
Folding lawn chair, just fold. That's like, hey man, that's all we got.
Yep. Deal with it.
Sit and fold. That's it. So
yep.
The last one.
Hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
You nasties.
Yeah, you are so right. This is on many different levels. We see people getting the con crud, the famous con crud. But now we also have other things to worry about because I see a lot of people after shows saying, "Oh, I'm positive for COVID."
Yep.
We still have COVID out there, folks. COVID is still a thing. Now, it may not be as rampant as it once was, but it's still a thing out there, and it can still take you out. A friend of mine got COVID last week from doing a show. No. She was overseas.
But still.
Yeah, but still, you know what I mean? So it's still a thing out there. You'll see, and it's look. You just get done talking to the vendor, having a great time. You've exchanged pleasantries. You bought their stuff. That's great. You handed them the money or your card, what have you. They take out hand sanitizer and start doing this. Don't take offense to that. It's not. No. It's not offensive. It's not. Because I've done it right in their face, going, "Yeah, it's the fact that you both know neither one of us want to get sick."
Right. I mean, and it's a good thing to have because speaking of the last show I went to, one of the sponsors was giving out free hand sanitizer. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm not complaining. And then sometimes people actually like to have hand sanitizer, even for them. If you have like the little small Purell ones where you could just like pump like right in front and just like, like I want to wipe my hands before I start touching stuff. What's wrong with that? Because a lot of people don't realize that the dirtiest thing that we have is money.
Yeah,
Money
the dollar bills.
is the dirtiest item that we could have at any place, whether it's a convention, a store, because it's always been passed. It's either been passed, it's either been on the floor, it's even like, in somebody's like, t-shirt or whatever, somebody's armpits. Money is the dirtiest thing and people don't realize that. And this is even before COVID was a thing.
Mm-hmm. It's the quickest way for somebody to get sick. So now so that's why it's good, to have the cards, because you can do the touch, the tap, what have you. But yeah, hand sanitizer is so key. Don't like think that, oh, they're going to have hand sanitizer there. Some will, some won't. Bring your own hand sanitizer. Bring a nice small bottle, like the regular travel size bottles are good. A lot of them will have like little plastic cases and hooks on them, so you can actually attach it to your bag, what have you, so you don't have to carry it in your pocket. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like that. And it's great because it shows that you want to be preemptive, especially because you don't want to go to a con, have a great time, then go home, possibly get sick, pass that on to your family, your loved ones, people at work. Even if you don't like the people at work, you don't want to do that. But it just shows that it's a great environment to have, where everybody's trying to be healthy because they want to see you the next time around, and you want to see them next time around. You don't want to hear, oh man, they got con crud or whatever, which happens a lot because you're around so many people. And unfortunately, the hygiene in the nerd geek community has not always been savory. Only the last, I'll say 6-7 years, maybe, hygiene has gotten better. I want to thank Black women for that, because Black women were saying a lot about people had to, start, come correct. Because a lot of times you go into a show and it smells like somebody brought a number 7 with extra oil and vinegar, and Pringles and some other stuff. Some people walk around smelling like spice racks. I'm not even gonna lie. You smell like all 11 herbs and seasonings.
And not even in a good way.
Yeah. And not even the brand name ones. It's like off-brand seasonings, which is worse.
Was it the greater value?
Yeah. Not even Lowry's or like, it's like great value paprika. Like why would you? So hand sanitizer is very important, and it's a necessary thing, and it'll keep you nice. I mean, you can go wash your hands, but sometimes you can't get to the bathroom. Right, like I said, you know where the bathroom is, can't get there. Hand sanitizer is going to be good. It's going to get you there afterwards. Go wash your hands.
Even after like you eat food, like you still like want get your hands clean and stuff like that. Or even before you eat, like you might want to get your hands clean before, like, because you might have been shaking hands with other people, and then like, okay, I'm about to eat my French fries, but I don't want to have your cooties on my French fries.
Exactly. And also, I want to give an honorable mention to deodorant. This is not to shout anybody out or be funny. It's not. If you know that sometimes you get a little moist up in here, sometimes if at a certain point in the day, you get the lemon pepper wet wings, I'm saying, bring an extra deodorant with you. Go in the bathroom, touch it up. That's not to shout. Look, our bodies operate differently.
There's too.
Yeah.
Because shoot, when I cosplayed as Killmonger, man, I was sweaty. Like I felt the whole sweat on my back from all like stuff I had, and I did bring a spray and some deodorant.
Yeah, it's very important. It's go touch up in the bathroom with your cosplay. Yeah, you're running around a lot. There's a lot of body heat in the building to begin with because so many people are there and everything. Nothing wrong with touching up. Ain't nobody going to go, oh, they're going to go, thank you. They're actually going to say thank you. So touch up. So folks, that's been the list that we have for prepping for a con. As always, I want to thank my co-host, artist, con aficionado, streamer, gamer, content creator, JabbaChan. There you go. I am Antonio Pomados, aka the Hungry Bleak, and we will see you next time, folks. You have a very good one. See you later. Bye.
Bye.